She thought she had ended me when she destroyed everything I loved. She thought tearing my life apart was her final victory. But victories built on cruelty always rot from the inside. And today, the same woman who once laughed at my pain, now wakes up every morning inside the prison my success became. My name is Anna Hale, and for a long time, I lived in the shadow of a woman who wanted nothing more than to watch me fail. Her name was Cassandra Vale, my mentor, my idol, and eventually, my greatest enemy. People say villains are born, I say some are self-crafted, shaped by jealousy sharp enough to draw blood. Cassandra didn't just want to beat me, she wanted to erase me. I was 23 when I joined Vale Industries, one of the biggest architectural firms in the country. Cassandra was the firm's shining star, rich, connected, brilliant, married to a billionaire, and praised like a goddess. And I was a nobody. A girl from a broken apartment with a scholarship degree and a dream big enough to embarrass the world. But dreams are dangerous things in the eyes of people who benefit from your silence. In the beginning, Cassandra pretended to like me. She called me promising, fresh, unpolished but interesting. She invited me to meetings, asked for my sketches, complimented my bold design angles. I mistook this attention for mentorship. I thought she wanted to help me climb. I didn't realize she was fattening me for slaughter. One night, I worked late on a project, the Solstice Tower, a design competition worth millions. I poured everything I had into it, my childhood memories of cramped housing, my obsession with open spaces, the idea of giving people something beautiful even if they didn't come from beauty. That tower was my heart made of steel. Cassandra saw it too. When I left that night, I had no idea someone had copied my entire design file. I had no clue the betrayal I was about to meet would shatter my life. 2 weeks later, I walked into a company-wide conference. Cameras, board members, investors. At the center of the room? Cassandra. Smiling. Confident. Wearing a dress the same red shade as a warning. On the screen behind her flashed the Solstice Tower, my work. But she called it hers. At first, I thought, this must be a mistake. Maybe a misunderstanding. But then she introduced herself as the sole architect. She explained the inspiration behind the structure, using actual phrases I had written in my notes. Something inside me broke quietly. Not with a scream. Not with a collapse. But with a silent snap. When the applause filled the room, no one noticed the ghost of a girl standing in the back, fighting tears. No one noticed the betrayal slicing her open. No one noticed because no one cared. After that meeting, Cassandra pulled me aside. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Talent is wasted on people who don't know how to use it. Take this as your lesson, Anna, never fly too close to the sun. You are not built for heights." Then she walked away with my dream tucked under her arm like a trophy. I could have screamed. I could have fought. But when you're powerless, people don't hear your truth, they hear your desperation. I knew that if I fought publicly, I would lose everything. So I made a promise to myself, I will not fight you publicly, Cassandra. I will destroy you silently. And silence became my greatest weapon. I quit the company quietly. No drama. No confrontation. Cassandra thought she'd won, that she'd pushed me out like trash. But ghosts have a habit of returning. I spent a year rebuilding myself from nothing. I freelanced. I studied every weak point in Vale Industries operations. I watched Cassandra become more arrogant, more careless, more convinced of her invincibility. Meanwhile, I started my own firm, a small one-bedroom office with peeling paint and a desk I bought from a thrift store. I called it Hale Structures, named after the legacy I promised myself I would build. Clients saw something in me that Vale Industries had long forgotten: heart. Slowly, painfully, beautifully. I grew. My designs went viral for their humanity. Real people, teachers, nurses, single parents, saw hope in my work. Investors followed. Small projects turned into big ones. My team grew from 1 to 20 and then to 100. Then the impossible happened. A billionaire investor, Damien Rourke, reached out to me after seeing my designs on a sustainability panel. He told me, "You design like someone who has tasted pain and turned it into steel." With his backing, Hale Structures became unstoppable. We won awards, broke records, created buildings the world couldn't ignore. And with every success, Cassandra's face haunted me, not with fear anymore, but with poetic irony. The woman who told me I wasn't built for heights, now watched me rise high enough to eclipse her. But fate wasn't finished yet. One morning, my secretary rushed into my office breathless. "Anna, you need to see this." She handed me a tablet with the latest news headline: Vale Industries collapses into bankruptcy after corruption scandal. My heart didn't race. It simply exhaled. I clicked the article. Cassandra was at the center of the scandal: fake invoices, stolen funds, plagiarized designs. Everything she had done to me, she had done to others. But unlike me, they had money, lawyers, and power. Her empire crumbled under her own sins. I didn't lift a finger. But the story wasn't over. 2 months later, I bought an entire property block, prime real estate across from what used to be Cassandra's company headquarters. The building was iconic, tall, and everything she ever wanted to design but never had the talent to. On opening day, as my team celebrated, someone stood outside the glass doors. A woman. Alone. Hollow. Broken away money couldn't fix. Cassandra. She stood there staring at my new building, her jaw trembling, her eyes filled with disbelief and humiliation. She didn't recognize me at first. Success had changed me, my posture, my aura, my silence. But when I stepped closer, her face drained of color. "You," she whispered. "You did this." I smiled gently, not cruelly, not with satisfaction of revenge, but with the calm of someone who survived hell and returned wearing a crown. "No, Cassandra," I said softly. "You did this. I just stopped standing in your way." She collapsed into tears. "Please. I need a job. Anything. I'll work under you." I have nothing left." Her voice was no longer sharp with arrogance. It was fragile, trembling, begging. I looked at her for a long time. This was the woman who once told me I wasn't built for heights. The woman who stole my dreams. The woman who weaponized my heart. And now she stood before me, drowning in the very silence she forced upon me. I leaned in and whispered, "My silence is the bullet you never saw coming." Then I walked away as my doors closed automatically behind me, locking her out of the world she once ruled. Today, Cassandra's name appears in articles as a cautionary tale. Mine appears as a blueprint of resilience. She thought destroying me was victory. But real victory? Real victory is walking past the person who broke you, without needing to break them back. Success was the prison she built for herself. I just turned on the lights so she could finally see the bars.